नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं तदान्ते स्वपदान्तिकं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा. So chapter 5. So till now what did we discuss? Can you someone have a quick recap about what in general idea? Yes, Suresh Mataji, any idea? What was the last?
They were despondent about.
Yes, and
then Mataji, that place where there are no, the Lord's word is not done. That is a field for the crows.
yes. So we discussed till this all we discussed, right? Two types of literature. Yes. So till 10 we finished.
Yes, Mataji, till 10.
I finished. This did we discuss the group activity? Vyasdev's dissatisfaction. What is the general principle we draw from Vyasdev's dissatisfaction? Discuss relevance in your personal life. Okay, that we can do later. We can have this now. Okay, so Vyasdev's dissatisfaction, we saw that because he was not able to write about Krishna, right, and devotional services, right? So we they were not. So that was his dissatisfaction. That is why he is having this sadness. And then Narad Muni comes, no, as a spiritual master. The spiritual master comes whenever the disciple is in trouble. The spiritual master actually, who was actually sending the spiritual master? Krishna, right? Like for example, Dhruv Maharaj, when Dhruv Maharaj was in distress, when he was in issue, then Narad Muni came. But actually, who sent it? It was Krishna, who was Chaitya Guru, right? So if Krishna is as Chaitya Guru in our body, like in our heart, and then he comes out when the disciple become serious. So we saw that so it's a breeding place of the crows, where not about Krishna. If it is discussed about Krishna's, then devotees like swans, they take pleasure in that literature. But then if it is all material things discussed, then it will be like a place of crow, the dead literatures. Okay. So 10 and 12, 10 to 12 is about Narad Muni's condemnation of different Vedic literatures. So 10 we finished, right? Crow and the swans. So this we finished. So 11th sloka is very important. Has to be memorized, no? तत्त्वविसर्गो जनतागविप्लवो यस्मिन् प्रतिश्लोक अपेत्यवन्त्यपि नामान्यनन्तस्येषो अंकितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवा. So it is said the literature which is full of description on the transcendental glories of name, fame, form, pastimes, etc. of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literature, even though imperfectly composed, has to be heard, sung, accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So we have to, what should we do? See, whatever literatures we have, see, whatever novel or whatever magazines and whatever we have, how many times can we read newspapers? How many times we get bored? But do you get bored reading the same Bhagavad Gita again and again? No, it looks really fresh. No, because it's now Yamanamcha. It's like Krishna's literatures are like that, and it's transcendental. It gives you a lot of pleasure. So here it is said, even though these words are imperfectly composed, it is perfectly composed by Vyasdev, but even though when we recite it, when it becomes a little bit wrong, still it should be heard, sung, and accepted. Okay, so this is the quality of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, should be spread all over the world. And it's the duty of every Indian to broadcast this message of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. That's what even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no? Amara, no. Bharat Bhumile Banishi Janma Hoilayar, Janma Sartakari Karo Paropakar. Bharat Bhumile, whoever have taken birth in this Bharat Varsha, he says, Janma Sartakari, you make your life successful and then make others' life successful. So we have to preach this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is said, it's our only friend. It's the spotless Purana, right? Madeka Bandhu Mat Sangin Mat Guru Man Mahadana Mat Nishtaraka Mat Bhagya Matananda Namosude. So it is said, Sanatana Goswami says this, that he is saying that he is Madeka Bandhu. He is our only friend, our only relative. Okay. And Mat Sangin, my only companion. Mat Nishtaraka, Mat Bhagya is my fortune to get Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And Madananda Namosuri. So I respect, I pay obeisances to that Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said. So Narad Muni is rejecting all other Vedic literatures. Okay. And he's accepting this literature, which is transcendental. This is spoken about Krishna and his devotees. So the 10th sloka, here it is said, Nayat Vajaschitra Padam Haririsho Jagat Pavitram Pragranita Karhichit Tatvayasam Tirtha Ushani Manasa Nayat Rahamsam Niramanti Ushikshaya. So, yet Tatvayasam Tirtha. Vayasam Tirtha means the crows, the pilgrim place. Yeah. So Chitra Padam, that's decoration. So what is the use of decorating a dead body? No, so reading material things is like that. No use, no? Decorating a dead body. It is said, so it is said, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japastapa Apranaseva Devasya Mandanam Logaranjana. So Mandanam Logaranjana means decorating a dead body. So Bhagavad Bhakti Hinas, if you don't have devotional service, then whatever money we have, whatever position we have, fame and knowledge and everything is for a waste. Or it's like decorating a dead body. So material things are like that. How much ever read, how much ever you say, there might be pleasure for some time, but then it's of no use. And that Bayasam Tirtham, it's a pilgrimage place for the crows. So what should we do? The literatures about self-realization has to be read. It is freeing us from reaction of fruitive work. And Achyuta Bhava Varjita, because they are devoid. These material literatures are devoid of the conception of the Lord. So it's called Achyuta Bhava Varjita. So they doesn't make us think about the Lord. But the literatures of Srimad Bhagavatam is very, 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 very glorious. And each and every word. Prabhupada says, if anybody reads one word from my book, one word, that's why we give a lot of importance to book distribution. One word, that's enough actually to say. So this sloka has to be memorized, right? The 11th sloka. Tatvat visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pradislokam apatyavantyapi namanyananta sesho ankitaniyat shrinvan digayan digranandi sadhava. Okay, so we see here the first picture, we can see Parikshit Maharaj being instructed by Shukadev Goswami, right? And also even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to read Srimad Bhagavatam with whom? Does anyone remember? He reads Srimad Bhagavatam with, and he used to cry. Yes? Hey, Radhavali Mataji. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he discussed Vedanta Sutra for 7 days.
Yes.
This was with, yes, Sarita Mataji?
Gadadhar Pandit.
Gadadhar Pandit, very good. So he used to read Srimad Bhagavatam with Gadadhar Pandit, that is Radharani herself. And then which canto they used to read, the favorite? 7th canto, about Prahlad. And when they read about Prahlad Maharaj, Mahaprabhu used to cry so much because Prahlad is a pure devotee. And then cry. And then what happens? The whole book will be wet with tears. and all the wordings, everything started disappearing. And so many times, if one time Gadadhar Pandit finished, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say, please read once more, read once more, once more. 100 times they'll read the 7th canto. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. And why is he coming and reading, making Gadadhar Pandit read Srimad Bhagavatam? So Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study for the Paramahamsa. So the Lord is he's transcendental. Still, he is getting attracted to Bhagavatam because it is about his devotees, no, but because of his devotees. And Sanatana Goswami, even though when he was old, he used to carry Bhagavatam with him and circumambulate Govardhan. And the Govardhan is like 25 kilometers. It was not easy for him. So what did the Lord do? Does anyone remember? Those who went to Radha Damodar temple.
Yes, so they has given his path in the form of the stone, which has engraved Lord's lotus feet. His
Yes.
the
The stone is actually a part of Govardhan itself. So the Lord Krishna appeared there and said to Sanatana Goswami, you're already in Bhava stage. You're already a Manjari. You don't have to do this in old age. Don't come and circumambulate Govardhan like this every day. You're old. You're becoming old. So what the Lord did is, he took a Govardhan Shila and made a footprint of the Lord stepped on that Govardhan Shila, small Shila, and it is like this, and then he stepped on it and he made an impression on his lotus feet, and he gave this to Sanatana Goswami and said, you don't have to circumambulate the whole Govardhan. You can circumambulate this small stone 4 times. It's equal to circumambulating Govardhan. So this stone is kept in, that is Govardhan, that part of the Shila is kept in Radha Damodar temple. If you go, when you go to Vrindavan for Vrindavan Parikrama near Yamuna. So if you go there, there's Rupa Goswami Samadhi, Jiva Goswami Samadhi, so Prabhupada's room. And then when you go there, that Shila is in the altar. So when you circumambulate Radha Damodar temple through the Samadhis of the Goswamis and all, 4 times, it is equal to circumambulating Govardhan once. So it's very, very important to go there and take blessings. So this is the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradayas. And Sanatana Goswami used to take leave from Nawab Hussain Shah, telling that he is sick, and conduct Bhagavatam class in the house. So when Nawab Hussain Shah was doubtful what is actually happening to Sanatana Goswami, he sent a physician. And when the physician went to Sanatana Goswami's house, he could see Sanatana Goswami was all right. He was completely absorbed in chanting Bhagavatam. And when Nawab Hussain Shah came, he saw the same scene. And he was so angry that he put Sanatana Goswami in the jail. So that was a different story. But this is how they were so attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam, even though Abhadyavantyapi, even though you would recite it in a wrong way also, that's okay. Shrinvanti Gayanti Grinandi Sadhava. It should be sung, heard. Okay, Shrinvanti Gayanti. So the literature which is full of description of Krishna's name, fame, form, pastimes has to be read. Okay, and then Sanatana Goswami, again, the Sanatana Goswami in his Krishna Leela Stava, okay, he also talks about Srimad Bhagavatam. So much glorification. He says, Sarva Shastra Bipiyusha, Sarva Vedega Satphala, Sarva Siddhanta Ratnapya, Sarva Lokaiga Dritpata Prata. So what is it? Sarva Lokeka Dritpata. So Srimad Bhagavatam is actually the essence of all literature. It is the nectar churned from the ocean of the Vedic scriptures. Okay, and it's the jewel of all philosophical conclusions. And it is said that it's the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of Kali Yuga. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the fruit of all the Vedic literature, Nigama Kalpatarur Kalitam Phalam, and it's the sun which has arisen. And when we know when Krishna left to the spiritual world, Dharma resided in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And so it is very, very important that we listen to this scriptures and read it and study it. Okay, and if we read this, then we definitely get all kind of transcendental happiness. Madeka Mandu Matsangin. He's my only friend, my companion, my teacher. He's my guru. Srimad Bhagavatam, when you read just the slokas and translations, you will not understand the whole thing. But when you read the purports, you all felt that Prabhupada is instructing you in so many ways. So it's a guru, Mad Guru. You're associating with Srila Prabhupada by reading Bhagavatam. And Mahadana, my greatest wealth is Srimad Bhagavatam. Mad Nishtaraga Mad Bhakti, my good fortune. Right? Not everyone get a chance to study Srimad Bhagavatam like this. So Madananda, it gives you a lot of happiness also. So this is what Srimad Bhagavatam. So that literature has to be sung, heard, and accepted by purified man thoroughly. Right? You can see Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Srila Prabhupada met him 5 or 6 times, but then every time when Bhakti Saraswati talks Srimad Bhagavatam, preaches Abhay Charan, Srila Prabhupada always goes and listen to it. Because Srinvata, it is very important to hear Srimad Bhagavatam because it's glorifying about Krishna. So that's what next sloka says. Naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjita. So if any literature has nothing to do with the Lord, no? Even though free from all material affinity, it does not look well if devoid of the conception of God. It's called achyuta bhava varjita. So if any literature is like that, then what is the use of reading that if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? So Prabhupada says ordinary literatures are devoid of the transcendental glorification of the Lord. So it has to be like, see, since we are living in this material world, we should know a little bit about all what is happening in the world, because as a preacher or as a citizen, but not too much getting involved into it and then reading as before. So that we should not do. Instead, we should develop a habit to read Srila Prabhupada's book. Okay, so Narada stresses the particular defect in the literature compiled by Vyasadeva. So he is saying that, yes, you have compiled all the literature, but then your vision is also completely perfect and you're spotless, but there is some defect, one defect. What is that? Tato anyata kinchana yat vivakshata kritak drishatat kritarupanamabi na karhichit kwapi chadushit kamatir labedavata hata nautkivaspadam. So whatever you desire to describe that is separate in vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms, names, and results to agitate the mind as the wind agitates a boat which has no resting place. So he's saying that you have written, but then it is just agitating the mind. So Vyasadeva is the editor of all the Vedic literature. Right? And he have described the transcendental realization in different ways, like fruitive activities, speculating knowledge, mystic power, and devotional service. So in various Puranas also, he have recommended the worship of so many demigods in different forms and names. But the result is that people in general are puzzled and how to fix their mind in the service of Lord. So they're disturbed to find the real path for self-realization. So Narada Muni is stressing this particular defect in Vedic literature compiled by Vyasadeva. So just imagine Vyasadeva is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. And Narada Muni is just a devotee. But see, the devotee becomes greater than the Lord. No? Krishna is accepting Narada, his devotee, as his guru. So that is Krishna's position. No? Krishna is controlled by his devotees. But he is so humble that he's accepting the instructions given by Narada Muni. And so Narada Muni is stressing the particular defect in the Vedic literature compiled by Vyasadeva, and he's trying to emphasize, to describe everything in relation with the Supreme Lord and no one else. That's why Bhagavatam is completely about the Lord, not about anybody else and his devotees. See, Lord means what? Lord and his devotees. In Kanishta stage, we see Lord means only Lord, only in the temple. That's what we think. But when you advance, Lord is not alone. Lord means Lord and his associates. We have Radharani, the Sakis, the servants, the Manjaris, the devotees, the Vaishnavas, they are also there. The king doesn't go alone anywhere. So respecting his devotees or Vaishnav Seva is much, much more glorified than Krishna Seva itself. Okay, so devotees special encouragement to inject Krishna consciousness to people from different walks of life. So devotional service is dynamic activity, and expert devotees can find out competent means to inject it into the dull brains of the materialistic population. So this is in 1.5.16. Okay, so you have to discuss the various means by which an expert devotee preaches or used to share Krishna consciousness with people from different walks of life. So that's what the 16th sloka says. Vichakshano ashyarhati veditam vipur anantaparyasha nivrittida sukham pravartamanasya gune anatmanas tato bhavandarshaya cheshtitam vipo. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a very expert personality, retired from the activities of material happiness, deserves to understand this knowledge of spiritual value. Therefore, those who are not well situated due to material attachment should be shown the way of transcendental realization by your goodness. through description of the transil activities of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada, before going to America, he wanted the 3 volumes of Bhagavatam printed so that he have a basics to preach, right? So here it is said that yes, we have to preach the science of Krishna consciousness. Through different activities, we have to bring the conditioned souls to devotional service. So just go through the 16th sloka and you can discuss various means by which a devotee preaches or used to share Krishna consciousness with people from different walks of life. No, so whatever you have experienced or you have heard about how Srila Prabhupada did or Prabhupada's disciples did, or somebody you know, some Vaishnavas, how do they use a devotional service in the different ways to preach Krishna consciousness? Okay, some interesting ways. So we'll discuss that and come back.
Sri Hare Krishna Mataji, you will start.
Before that, Mataji, can you share the this thing attendance form? I'll make you co-host. Just fill the attendance form and then we'll take the discussion.
I think Mataji has not shared the link yet.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No, it's not there.
No. Just now I asked her to share. Okay, by that time we can take up the breakout room. Yes, so room number 1, who's representing?
I will.
Radhavalli Mataji, you?
Okay, I will start.
Yes.
Others can, Sri Haripriya Mataji and others will add to it. So,
Okay.
We'll take example of Srila Prabhupada because Srila Prabhupada transformed the people based on the time, circumstances, how the people were. He did not force anything to them. So when he was in India, he wanted to preach. He wanted to, have people with his, come to him and who were coming from different walks of the life, like scientists or people who were uh, the family people and all, but not many people were interested in India. So when he went to US, he had to work with the people who never knew who Krishna is. So he did not force everyone, but with various mechanisms he did it, starting with giving them prasadam. Then he started singing Hare Krishna mantra in the garden and then in the Times Square Park also. And distributing books. The first book he sold the Srimad Bhagavatam to the ship, the captain of the ship. And similarly, when he had a first lecture, then he sold another copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he used different mechanisms. And when all these hippies started following him, he was not forcing them to do anything, but with his kirtan, he transformed the people. And with various characteristic of each person, like one of the Matajis who was very good in painting, another Mataji, he taught how to make food, like I'm forgetting the name. The first couple. So her sister Jane came and Srila
Janaki
Prabhupada,
Mataji.
Janaki Mataji, yes. So he taught him how to make food. Initially, she said, "Oh, I'll never come here," but then she became one of the most favorite devotees, and he sung
That was Yamuna Mataji, no?
Yamuna
Devi.
Mataji,
Her
yes,
sister was Janaki. Yeah.
yeah, sister of Janaki. So
Yeah.
these are the different. There are many examples. People. They were some of the people who were against it. He faced lot of issues in US also. The journey was not straightforward, but with his full will, full trust on Krishna, he was not saying that I have come. He said, I am accompanying Srimad Bhagavatam. So that was his modesty, and he had so much of trust that Krishna will help him. He never said, I am doing it. And based on looking at, that's why the devotees also, the young generation people who started following him, they were taking drugs. They were just wandering here and there. They had left their families. They didn't know what to do with their life. But then slowly, by listening to his kirtan, he transformed them. Others can add. Yeah, we can say a lot on this, but I just wanted to add one more point. Similarly, I can talk about my Guru Maharaj. When Prabhupada was in India, and Indian devotees also started following Srila Prabhupada. And there was a bus which was called a Sankirtan bus, who used to take people to different states of India. And suddenly, since these buses had come from Germany, they had to be taken back. And Loknath Maharaj went to, he thought, okay, now he's a Kirtan leader and he can go on the bus and enjoy, take this activity. Then they came to know, no, you cannot, the buses have to go back. And then he called Loknath Maharaj and he said, now you come from the village. So why don't you start preaching, taking the block cart? So Maharaj did that. And today in all 150 countries, in India, it's 7 times all across India that, the preaching is happening through the Bulakat Seva. They are going to different states and all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Mataji.
very nice. So that's how Prabhupada made all of them Krishna conscious, and these were the various means Prabhupada took to preach. So very nice, like cooking and painting, and Jadurani Mataji for painting,
Yeah.
cooking, Yamuna Devi Das Mataji. Like that, he empowered everyone. Even Shyam Sundar Prabhu for Jagannath Deity carving, and
Yeah.
Jayananda Prabhu for Rath Yatra in different ways. So it was so nice, and our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, to empower Mayapur, to as he knows, Prabhupada was knowing, and Gopal Krishna Maharaj, His Holiness
Yes.
Gopal Krishna Maharaj, for printing books and BBT in charge. He know the taste of the devotee, and he preaches in that way. So Prabhupada is a very nice example for this. Yes, so the attendance link is in the chat. Yes, room number 2, can add to it. Room number 1, anyone likes to add, or can go to room number 2? Yes. Who's speaking?
Mataji, I'll tell. Then they'll add with me. Jayanti Mataji was there, Akshita Mataji, and Kiruba Shankar Prabhu and Girdhar Prabhuji was there. Mataji, we can start the converting right at the very small level from the home itself first. Because most of us, like if you see practically, Prabhupada, so she told us, I don't want to repeat because that was there in our mind also. But then not to repeat the same thing. So it is that we can start from the lower level, from the root level at our home only, first to convert our family people into to come into this, and that can be done in a small bit way to start away up in the morning, and then to start with the Narsimha Aarti at home, and then to give them induce them to at least do one mala, start with that, and then do the Aarti Kirtan, small Kirtan at home also, that will bring the children together, and even all the other family members together to start off with. Then where there is a workplace, every person can contribute a little to the workplace. But in the workplace means that that you can, at least for my profession, I can say, because I am giving Bhagavad Gita to all the girls who are coming pregnant, and especially when they're in the initial part of pregnancy, you give it to them, and then obviously they are very prone to read it very well and all, because they are also that time a bit more receptive to the idea of getting a little spirituality to the child also. Then Mataji, for small congregations, small programs like doing a birthday at home, you can do it in a form of a kirtan, and then call the people, those who are devotees also and no non-devotees also. So then that in that kirtan, that is also very exciting. Along with that, then the prasadam is always there, and normally you put a small book counter also, and the book distribution happens over there. Then when you have any other function, if your child's birthday or maybe your husband's birthday, or for any function, or even if your son is getting married or daughter is getting married, better to in a mass to distribute the books of the Lord of Bhagavad Gita, or maybe other books also. And then mainly the prasadam is one thing which is very helpful, and many other places they have lots of congregations, so every function there is a seva given to them, to invite the non-devotees also to take up a small seva, maybe just a small thing only to cook and take it to the temple, plus to take them to small functions which are there. So that is where they can get the taste of it, and then they start, like we also entered it through the media only, social media. Then social media is a very big platform to do it, to as the Facebook, for WhatsApp, whatever you have, your small message of Prabhupada, we can forward to them, and everybody gets a little interested to read it. So that I've been seeing changes in my place and my people around me. So that is what my practical experience, and want to tell Prabhupada ka to hai Mataji. Rest my other group people will add on. Mataji.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, who likes to add?
As Mataji told, whatever we discussed, and by simple word of mouth, we were conversing to our friends, relatives, neighbors, like that. And important occasions and festival days, we invite them and allow them to participate in our aartis. Like this Damodar month, we were inviting them to every day. And we are also visiting to different houses whoever non-devotee also, when we start this practice, then they also felt happiness and due to the bliss and peace of the kirtans and various puja and this offers to God, what we are doing, how we are doing, seeing that many are impressed, and they also started doing it at their home. And like while conducting like tuitions or classes for the children are motivated to listen to the stories of the pastime of Krishna, and they are really very happy to hear such stories apart from the subject. When we allot some 15-20 minutes for hearing the stories of pastime of Lord Shri Krishna, then they also motivated towards. And once the children are started, automatically parents also join for their sake. Slowly they are also gathering and the group is widening slowly. That's how we manage in this Islamic country. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So that is one of the amazing things, Prabhu. Like I also started the kids Sunday school because of that. I got so many Matajis from abroad who is doing kids sessions, and it's amazing to know that kids actually brought their parents also to Krishna consciousness.
Exactly.
And it's a nice program going on. They have a well arranged. I got all the materials from Mataji. I'm really grateful to her. So she gave me all the materials, and I got everything. So different ages have different categories of so many wonderful things for Krishna conscious activity. So now we are just developing because we also want to spread Krishna consciousness in this local. We have online congregation, but then there is no physical service happening here. We are struggling with service. Each one of us is doing multiple service here in the temple. So we need local devotees, local people to become devotees and do service in the temple. So first process we thought was doing Sunday feast and giving prasadam. Some are coming, but then they're not coming for service. So the thing is, we attract kids. So now Sunday school is going in a very nice way. And this actually spread in abroad, and it was very nice that how the kids brought their parents to Krishna consciousness. So that's the best way to preach, one more way, because kids will start loving and they'll come to draw and sing and learn slokas. So I've done online, but offline I've never tried. So I'm just trying by Krishna's and Prabhupada's and
Hare
Guru's
Krishna.
mercy.
Mataji, here
Yes.
we partner with NGOs, okay, and they have women empowerment and children empowerment programs. So where
Yes.
they go to these girls' colleges or normal schools and colleges, and they give sessions on value education and everything. So
Yeah,
there
that is
also
good.
we can bring in the name of moral education, we can actually give them spiritual education.
Yeah, for youth preaching, college preaching. Yeah, Naminishra Prabhu was doing that for past 20 years. And
Mataji, we
made
have it
devotees.
here also.
Yeah.
Kirtan Rasa was only by the
And
kids.
Damodar
12
Deshi,
hours.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
12 hours. And
we
then
have.
they had one program was totally from the kids only, all the plays and all. They really
Yeah,
did it
kids.
very marvelously. So, but there are lots of
in
people
Noida
those who are
we have
taking
sorry.
regular
Hare Krishna,
classes for
Mataji.
kids. Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, even we have Vaishnavi Sangha. That is a kind of a group for all the Vaishnavis.
Yes,
So they
yes.
are also very enthusiastically participating. And on every Ekadashi, there are small kids who play Mridanga. They support Matajis during the Kirtans. So that is the way. There are multiple ways by which they are encouraging kids also, Mataji.
Yeah.
Here, Hare Krishna.
It's a good way to bring a group of people to Krishna consciousness. Very nice way to spread Krishna consciousness. Because for the kids, yes, parents are ready to do anything. And if they're going to a devotional service, that is good. But then what happened? Once the kids start taking devotional service seriously, then parents start behaving in a weird way, when the kids are really serious in Krishna consciousness and they want to dedicate their life or something, they're like, no, you don't have to do this. But no, see, because of them, when my son was born and I wanted Jagannath to have his neck beads, Kanti, very soon. Might be he was 3 months old and it was Janmashtami time, and I saw his grace to Krishna Prabhu. I was like, I'm so impressed by his teacher's training course, the way he's the ministry in Mayapur Education Institute. So I asked, requested Prabhu, can you just tie this and Tulsi beads to Jayanar? He was just 3 months. And Prabhu was so happy, and Prabhu tied it. And that time he said, see, you might have to struggle so much to raise him in Krishna consciousness, but then when he becomes a devotee, that's when you actually becomes a devotee. And then he said, because of that child, one child in the family, the whole family can get liberated, or might be he can take you back home, back to Godhead. So this is why we should not stop our kids to go into Krishna consciousness. I feel Sarita Prasad Mataji, your son is also actively into Krishna consciousness, right?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, he was there, but now he got good association for more than a year. He's in contact, but sometimes he take classes also for younger ones.
Nice, actually. Very good.
Online. One to one they give him now. To take so some one or two students, one day, or the boy also shifted to that this one. It seems like he was very impressed with the philosophy. Prabhupada.
Very nice.
And yeah, Bhagavad Gita classes he's taking, like.
Yeah, you should encourage him, and it's very rare, no, to have the. I think Radhika Mataji brought her parents to Krishna consciousness. No, you came to Krishna
I managed
consciousness
to bring
first.
my mother, but my dad is
Yeah,
still
that's okay. That takes time, but at least when I was telling my mother to chant, now she's chanting and offering and all. But when I was telling, I was like, it should be the opposite. Mothers should tell the children. Now I am telling you. So then I was like, yeah, that's what is happening in most of the places. And some of you came to Krishna, you made your spouse Krishna conscious, the whole house. That is good, actually. I don't know about personally about others, but then this is how we try to become expert in preaching Krishna consciousness, not in a way to make them hate Krishna consciousness. One of my friend, he is into Krishna consciousness so much. Both are doctors, and he married a doctor, and she don't know what ISKCON is. But then what he did for their initially after marriage for honeymoon, he took her to Vrindavan and Mayapur. She is not a devotee. And here, reaching there and seeing all the Vaishnavas and everything, she went crazy, kind of. And now she hates Krishna consciousness. They have 2 kids, and he's struggling. Prabhu is initiated. He's a very nice devotee doctor, but then she's still not into Krishna consciousness. She hates Krishna consciousness now. Why? What happened is, Prabhu said, initially I was overwhelmed. I was so happy that I got somebody to come to Krishna consciousness, but he over enthusiastically did some things that which made her hate Krishna consciousness. Now he's sincerely praying that she comes to Krishna consciousness, and ask us also to pray. But this is what, no, we should not overly indulge and then forcefully bring them. It takes time. The purification will happen slowly, but then definitely it will be helpful. But we should pray for them. We should chant for them, and we should pray for them. So this is, Prabhupada says, when you come to Krishna consciousness, you should know that somebody had prayed for you to come to Krishna consciousness. Somebody in this whole world, someone would have not prayed, at least desired that let you come to Krishna consciousness. Somebody. So we should also desire others to come to Krishna consciousness. So you all finished Bhakti Shastri. I sincerely feel that we should all come to preaching level, sure, because my recent Bhakti Shastri batch, they're just going to finish Ishopanishad. They're going to finish the Bhakti Shastri soon. So they will might be the convocation will be in August. So many are preaching, at least kids or youth or adults. Some sessions you take up and you do some kind of preaching, okay, so that it helps. And that's how you can repay. Somebody asked Prabhupada, how can I repay, Prabhupada? You did so much for us. It was like, you can never repay. I could never repay to my guru. This spiritual path is not like give and take. No, you can't repay. But then they asked, Prabhupada, what can we do? Prabhupada said, just preach. That will please me. And that's how you can repay the acharyas. And he said, be obliged always, be grateful to the acharyas. Okay, so that's what he said. Prabhupada Vacha, words from the founder Acharya. Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost theological science, and therefore it can react on a layman as a medicinal dose. Because it contains the transcendental activities of the Lord, there is no difference between the Lord and the literature. So Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of the Lord, right? As we discussed, the first 2 cantos are the lotus feet. When you take darshan, we are supposed to take darshan from the lotus feet. But most of the time, what happens when the curtains open, we immediately see the face, no? Then we see the lotus feet. But no, not like that. It's supposed to be. So that means we have to go from lotus feet to the face. Similarly, we should read Bhagavatam from first 2 cantos and then go to the 10th canto. The literature is the factual literary incarnation of the Lord. So when you take a life membership and you get Bhagavatam set, and you don't even remove the cover and keep it in the shelf, it's like Krishna packed in that cover. We should not do that. And it's like Shastra Aparad. So we should read, not like once in a week, come here and read. No, you should every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. So the layman can hear the narration of the activities of the Lord. Thereby, they are able to associate with the Lord, thus gradually become purified from material disease. So Bhagavad Saptah is for so much materially involved people. But for devotees, it's for Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. Otherwise, why Prabhupada made Bhagavatam class every day, no, in all the temples? So you have to hear Bhagavatam. That will really help us. So that is in the 15th purport. Prabhupada mentions that a patient suffering from a particular type of malady is almost always inclined to accept eatables which are forbidden by him. The expert physician does not make any compromise with the patient by allowing him to take partially what he should not take at all. In Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that the man attached to fruitive work should not be discouraged from his occupation. So whatever it is, we should do. But at the same time, we should do devotional service. And Bhagavatam plays an important role in our life. So when you start reading Bhagavatam, now you're all memorizing slokas. This will really help you in preaching. When you preach Bhagavad Gita, you should quote Bhagavatam. When you take Bhagavatam class, you should quote Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's what Prabhupada always says, because that's a higher study. So that will improve your quality of preaching. Okay, so that's why Bhagavatam should be read, and it should be your constant companion. And Bhagavatam, the stories, these are all pastimes which actually happened. This will help us to overcome difficulties in life. So 17 to 19 slokas about developing faith and conviction in Bhakti. Progress of Bhakti is credited forever. There is no loss or fall down. So that is from 17 to 19. Again, 17 is again sloka to be memorized, no? Yaktva sadharmam charanabhujam haret bhajan apakva atapate tadoyati yatrakvabaddham abhudamushikim kovarta apto apajatam sudharmata. So if you take swadharma, if you give up your occupational duty and you go to devotional service and patantiyata, you fall down, still it's now loss for you. But on the other hand, you're a great professional and everything, you are completely very successful, but then you're not doing devotional service, then what is the use? One who has forsaken his material occupation to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature state, yet there is no danger for of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in his devotional duties, does not gain anything. I still remember it was the pandemic time and we all were taking vaccines, no? The first vaccine, second vaccine, so much. And this medical professionals were given priorities. So we all were given priorities. And then I just went to take the second dose and the second dose just got over. I was like, oh, might be Krishna want me to suffer this pandemic, or why I'm not getting there. Everyone in the hospital got except me. And all my doctors are like, you can't come for work because you're not second immunized and you have to take it and you have to. And I was having little symptoms of cough and everything. I was like, oh God, I'm gone. I have to do japa. I have to do Krishna consciousness at least before I die. So I was thinking all that. So then I saw a pediatrician. He just came and he took his second dose. He was so happy. And, there was a rule, no, you should have the vaccine certificate, even if you have to fly or go around and everything. So he had his certificates well packed and sealed and everything. And he was like, see, I got all the certificates done. I'm like, good, sir, good for you. I can't go now. I didn't get my second. So somehow another person tried and somehow I got it. But then this pediatrician, he was so successful. So successful means the whole area, it is said that the kids' disease will not go unless they show to that pediatrician. He was very good at this professional thing, very good. But he doesn't like devotional things at all. He was not at all religious. And everyone was like, he shouts, and he never encouraged anyone doing devotional things. Even if somebody hears, it was a Bhagavatam class happening, and I was in Zoom, and a little bit sound came, and he was so angry, and he made me come out of the class, so many things. I thought it's okay, might be such a successful person, might have some pride and things like that. But then after the second dose, within 3 days, he was in his rounds and he was shouting at one sister. Something happened. He was shouting. He immediately had a stroke, and on the spot he just left. Everyone was shocked, and I was like, whatever we do, it's Krishna, Raki Krishna, Mare Krishna, Raki. And where is that pediatrician now? So much he did, and so much of wealth, and so wealthy he was, and so much of fame and everything. Everything is gone in a moment. No? So when you recollect things, but on the other hand, somebody gives up the occupational duty and did some bhajan, did some devotional service, and fell down because Maya is so strong. Fell down. It's okay. Like Ajamila fell down, went with a prostitute, but then he got a second chance. No, so there is no loss for him. Everybody sees Ajamila's negative side, but there was a positive side for Ajamila. No, he was a Brahmana, he was a devotee in the initial days, in his younger days. He did nice devotional service. That's why he got the second chance, right? So even if we fall down because of Maya, because fall down it's natural in Krishna consciousness. It can happen. Maya is there. So, but then it's no loss for that person who have fell down. But on the other hand, so with which story is this? About whom?
Chitraketu Maharaj.
Yeah.
Chitraketu
Chitraketu Maharaj.
Angira Muni and
And what did he become? Vritrasur, right?
Vritrasur.
Yeah.
Vritrasur.
So we know how he was with Lord Shiva, and Mother Parvati got offended and he became Vritrasur. So was there any loss for Vritrasur? Even though he became an Asura, and even though he was getting killed by Indra, it looks like Vritrasur is getting defeated. No, Indra is winning. But is actually Indra winning?
No, actually he
No.
won. That's why it's called a divine demon.
Yeah, why he was divine?
Because he went back home, back to Godhead after
He went
getting
back
killed
to
by
Godhead. So that means that was his real success. The success is really to Vritrasur. Vritrasur says that later on. Indra, don't think you won. I won. Why? Because again, you have to undergo this birth, death, old age disease, all that. Old age and disease are not there for demigods, but still that Indra is a position, and still you have to undergo the material sufferings. But I'm going to go back to Krishna. So that means it was actually a blessing for Vritrasur. So miseries and mixed happiness are two features of the material life, and they are obtained in Brahmaloka and other lokas also. They are obtained in the life of demigods and also in the life of a dog and a hog. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degrees and quality, but no one is free from the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Similarly, everyone has his destined happiness also. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavor. So we think because I worked hard, I got all these. No, it's because of your karma, punya karma. So if your karma is not good, how much of a hard work you do, you will not become successful. You will not become rich. So becoming rich, famous, well-educated, beauty, all this is because of your past pious deeds, punya karma, right? But along with that, if you're devotee, that adds glory to your life. Even if they are obtained, they can be lost again. So one should not therefore waste time with these flimsy things. One should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the mission of everyone's life. So this is what Tyakta Sadharmam Charanambujam Hare. Sometimes they say, no, just recently I was thinking his grace Radhesham Prabhu. He was IIT topper, and he left everything and he came, Namanishna Prabhu just left IIT. So IIT is so difficult to crack, and got a nice job in Infosys. He left everything and come. So what will his friends think? He's so, why is he doing this? He got such a nice job and he left everything for what? But is there a loss for him? Because of him, so many people became devotees, right? See, it's always glory, Krishna is reciprocating now. by giving a temple to him. So Prabhu have uplifted so many souls, so many conditioned souls, right? Isn't that so glorious than the job he does in Infosys, making more money and might be becoming famous with one family or something? Now he have empowered so many souls and so many families. So what is the real success? Even though if there is a devotee falls down in the devotional service, still there's no loss, because in next life he can start from where he lost. What is that sloka?
नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमपि अस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्.
Oh, bhayat. What is that mahato bhayat? Which bhayat is that? It will
Falling
say
into the animal
falling
kingdom.
into
and the animal
the lower
forms.
grades of
Animal
life.
kingdom.
The most dangerous thing is to fall into the animal form of life. So that we should not fall, and that will be helped by this Swalpamabhesa Dharmasya. Whatever small thing we do, it will save us from great dangers. So this is that sloka, Tyaktasa Dharmam Charanamujam Hari. Bhajan Apakko. Apakko means it's immature. The bhajan was immature, and Padad, Adha Pade Tadoyadi fell down. But still there's no loss. On the other hand, somebody is so much into profession and so much working hard and everything, and he's not a devotee, so there's no gain for him, because everything is lost. When this life goes, everything is gone. Again, he has to start in his next life from where he stopped, from his desires, because of his desires. And again, the life starts. But for a devotee, Shuchinam Srimadam Gehe, always glorious life. And you can see the example of Vitasur here. Okay, so we'll just do one more slokas. Two more slokas might be, and then we can. So instruction to the Vyasdev. So glorifying the Lord more vividly. So next few slokas, Narad Muni is giving instructions to Vyasdev. Okay, what should be done? All branches of knowledge should be wholly and solely applied in the service of the Lord. Okay. So in the 19th sloka, again Narad Muni says, my dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes fall down somehow or the other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, like fruity workers. Because a person who have once relished the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. Now, if somebody comes and gives you crores of rupees, millions of rupees, you will not leave chanting and devotional service, right? Why? Because you got that taste. You already enjoyed that rasa. You understand that no money can buy that rasa. That's otherwise why you are here. You're still here. You're in level 6. This Bhakti Vaibav is level 6. You're still staying here in Krishna consciousness because of that taste, which no money can give us. No? So here it is said, Prabhupada says that he will continue from where he lost. It's not like a karmi dying. So devotee dying and a karmi dying. So Prabhupada says here, even here the devotee fall, a devotee is never to be considered as the same fallen karmi. A karmi suffers the result of his fruitive reaction, whereas a devotee is reformed by chastisement directed by the Lord himself. The suffering of an orphan and the suffering of a beloved child of a king are not one and the same. Right? Or orphan is really poor because he have no one to take care. But a beloved someone of a rich man, although he appears to be on the same level of an orphan, is always under the vigilance of his capable father. So a devotee is like that. An example is a cat carrying its kitten and the cat carrying the rat. It is said. So the cat carrying the kitten with so much of love. So Krishna's devotees are all Krishna's sons. So Krishna will definitely take care of them. And a neophyte devotee foolishly think of accumulating some material power in exchange of devotional service. Such foolish devotees are sometimes put into difficulty by the Lord himself. This is a special favor by the Lord. Why is this difficulty a favor by the Lord? Krishna gives some difficulty.
So that
because
devotee
constantly
totally
remembering
depends on the Lord.
Krishna.
Okay, to improve,
becomes
increase
dependent.
his dependence on
He
the Lord.
becomes-
Yes, what else?
Because he surrenders. Because when
Surrender.
he
Mataji,
is
the
in
prayer
difficulty,
during
he
distress is
starts-
much more
Yeah,
intense
surrender.
than the prayer done at other times, Mataji.
Yes, okay. Tivrena Bhakti Yoga. And he can do Bhakti Yoga in a very intense way.
He becomes more detached towards
More
materialistic.
detached. Yeah, to make him more detached from Krishna. Doesn't want anything to come in between you and Krishna. If that devotee is getting attracted to money or power or whatever it is, Krishna takes that away. Why? Like, for example, Narad Muni became attached to his mother when he was the maid servant, no? Servant's son. Then what happened? Narad Muni is like, no, I can't go and preach anywhere because I have my mother to take care. He was so getting attached. Krishna came in a form of a snake and took his mother's life. Now, that looks like, in a material way, you look like, oh, this son, Narad Muni doesn't have anybody, only his mother, and his mother also Krishna took away. In a material point of view, it looks like Krishna is so cruel. But on the spiritual pathway, Krishna took away all the impediments in a devotee's life. And Krishna, like for example, Prabhupada's life. Now, Prabhupada was thinking, I'll make more money and then help Krishna consciousness in preaching. But what did Krishna do? Took away everything from him. Yasyaham anugrashyami harishye taddanam sane tado dhanam tyajantyasya swajanat. He takes away special mercy. He is not, we are not so qualified to get that mercy, but because Prabhupada is a pure devotee of Krishna, and Krishna knows the only way to take him, and Prabhupada says, I was forced to come to Krishna consciousness because Krishna took everything away from him. Everything, all his business collapsed, his family members, everything happened so that Prabhupada could go to America and preach Krishna consciousness. And this is Krishna's special plan. So Prabhupada later on says that Krishna's special mercy that Krishna made me go through this. So that is special mercy. A pure devotee continuously remember the lotus feet of Hare Krishna and does not forget him even for a moment. Okay. Smartavyam sadadam Vishnu. Vismartavyam na kenachit. Smartavyam sadadam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna. Smartavyam. Vismartavi. Never forget Krishna. So that is said here. So we'll stop with the 22. 20, it says that the Supreme Personality regarded in himself, this cosmos, still he is aloof from him. From him only the cosmic manifestation emanated, and in him it rests, and unto him it enters after annihilation. Your good self knows about it, and I have given only the synopsis. Now Narad Muni is instructing. Narad Muni is saying that you are the Supreme Lord himself, so you know everything, and you know about the different branches of knowledge. And he says, your goodness have perfect vision. You also have perfect vision. So you yourself can know the Supreme Personality Godhead because you are present as the planetary portion of the Lord. Although you're birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. So please, therefore, describe the transcendental pastimes of Krishna more vividly. So Narad Muni came to, got the solution for Vyasdev's lamentation. Vyasdev already knew it. He didn't want to write himself. He wanted to show an example as an acharya that what should we do when we are in difficulty, like Arjuna went and surrendered to Krishna. Vyasdev is surrendering to Narad Muni. And Narad Muni said, write about Krishna. Prabhupada says, therefore, all the sages and devotees of the Lord have recommended that the subject matter of art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, and all other branches of knowledge should be wholly and solely applied in the service of Lord. Literature, art, poetry, painting, etc. may be used in glorifying the Lord. Everything can be used in Krishna's service. Everything. Right? So we know like how they're doing this, some deity worship, some kind of flower decoration or whatever dress, whatever, what do you say, that ability you have. Krishna says, I'm the ability in man. So Krishna gives that. When Krishna gives you a service, Krishna will empower you to do that service, it is said. We may not be knowing that, oh, I can do it like this. I never knew I can do this. And sometimes devotees are so scared to come and cook for the deities. Like, no, because we can't even taste the salt. We can't. Initially, when you cook, it's very difficult, right? Because we're so used to keep tasting. And when you cook for the Lord, you can't even taste and anything. So it is difficult. Always might be the salt is more or less. So we always have a doubt. And then you pray to Radharani because the kitchen belongs to Radharani. Pray to her. It's she who's making through you as an instrument. And then we cook. Now, like that, any service you do, for that matter, the Lord empowers it. Krishna Shakti Vina Nehi Hua Parivartan. Only with Krishna's empowerment that can happen. So Prabhupada says that. Okay, so we'll stop with this. 22nd sloka says, Idam hi pumsam tapasa shutasya va svistasya shuktasya cha buddhi datayo avichito artha kavibhir nirupito yat uttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Why is Krishna called Uttama Sloka? Uttama
Because
Sloka.
he can be described only by best of the words vocabulary.
Yes, very good. So Krishna can be described with Uttama. Uttama means best and Sloka means the verse. So whichever verse is the best, that can only describe Krishna. Krishna can be described with only the best verses. Uttama Sloka Vartaya. So he is Uttama Sloka. So learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting the hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, who is defined by choice poetry. Okay, so everything, what is the goal? Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. The main purpose is to satisfy Krishna. So whatever we do, any field of activities we do, we should be engaged to glorify the Lord. Even any service which you do, even cooking is preaching, even book distribution is preaching, even it's not just taking class as a preaching. No, whatever we do, small things, even everything is preaching, because that will encourage somebody to take up devotional service. The way you decorate the deities, the way you cook for the Lord and give prasadam, everything is preaching, because preaching is what? To glorify the Lord. No, and what by your activities, you're actually glorifying the Lord. So Krishna can be glorified by the best or the choice poetry. So that's why when somebody composes some prayers, some poem, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not directly hear it. He always asks Swarup Damodar to see it. Swarup Damodar should hear that song, and then only will be approved, and then only it can be heard by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? Because some people might take some verses which is not Uttama Sloka, or some will take Rasa Bhas. They mix the rasas. The Valsalya Madhurya get mixed. Like instead of saying Radha Krishna, they say Radha Narayan, and Lakshmi Narayan, they say Lakshmi Krishna, like that. So it's a rasa is making mix. It's not, doesn't make sense. So sometimes that happens. So Swarup Damodar always stops such poetry, and Mahaprabhu can hear only the best, the choicest thing, because Mahaprabhu is in ecstatic way, right? In ecstasy. So his bhava should not get disturbed. So when he was in Gambira with Swarup Damodar, so they used to hear the poem composed by the poets, and then only the best poems would be sung. And it says when Jayadev Goswami, who wrote Gita Govinda and Dashavata Sutra, when he sings the verses, even if it's a dry forest, it will start, the flowers and fruits and vegetables will start sprouting up just by hearing those verses. That's how his poetry was. So, that it is said, because he's a devotee, because he's glorifying the Lord so much, everybody gets attracted by that glorification. So now Narad Muni is saying to Vyasadeva, please glorify Krishna more and more and more. That's why we have 10th canto, like 4 volumes, no? It's the biggest, 90 chapters in 10th canto. Why? Because he started glorifying Krishna again and again. Parikshit Maharaj was so eager to hear about Krishna. When Shukadeva Goswami said to Parikshit Maharaj, yes, Krishna killed Akasur, and after 1 year, then again this Leela happened. So something like that it was spoken. Then Parikshit Maharaj stopped in between. Why after 1 year? What happened in this 1 year? So in that 1 year, what happened after killing Agasur?
Krishna took the form of all of them. Brahma came and
The Brahma
kidnapped
Vimohan.
all the Gopabalas and the
Yes.
cows, and then Krishna took their forms and went to their houses. And
Yeah.
then Brahma came to see what's happening. By then, 1 moment was over.
1 year.
And that's how 1 year got over.
1 year. So Shukadeva Goswami said this. Now I remember. Shukadeva Goswami said this, that Agasur was killed, and Krishna killed Agasur, the big snake. And after 1 year, the Gopas said this to Yashoda Maya, that Krishna killed Agasura. Then Parikshit, if we hear that, we'll be like, ha ha ha. We are thinking, because we are going to die in 7 days by Takshak. So we'll be like, then fast, tell fast. We'll be in a hurry. Parikshit Maharaj, it's like, wait. Krishna killed Akasura, and after 1 year, the Gopas said this to Yashoda Maya. Why? What happened in that 1 year? So in that 1 year, the Gopas were in Nidra, in Yoga Nidra, in Brahmaloka. So then Shukadeva Goswami started explaining, oh, you don't know what happened. Brahma Vimohan Leela happened, and Brahma took all the cowherd boys. It was for 1 moment in Brahma's world, but it became 1 year here. And after 1 year, the Gopas For them, it is not 1 year. For them, the Akasur Leela happened yesterday because they were in Yoga Nidra. But then by then, 1 year have passed in the earth. So that was Krishna's again Leela. And again, Parishita was so eager to know what happened in that 1 year. Oh, Brahma Vimohan Leela. Everything he started asking. In 7 years, what happened? In 6 years, 8 years. So like that, the Krishna Leela became so big. But it's good. It was Krishna's plan because he's avatari. Any other incarnation, can you see a baby pastime of Narsimhadev, baby pastimes of any other incarnation? Maybe Lord Ram little bit, not much though. Lord Ram was in a king form because he was not fully approachable. But Krishna became the cowherd boy just so that he's to show his avatari, and Krishna's leelas are gloriously explained in the 10th canto. Okay, so we'll stop with here. Here it's already 9. Anything to discuss? So start studying the slokas, 2 slokas, little difficult. No, little difficult because it's little bigger, the slokas, not like small ones. So whatever you can, try to remember. Okay. Just write and understand the meaning. Tyakta swadharmam charanabhujam haret. Swadharma. If you start tyakta means if you avoid your own dharma, your occupational duty, and charanabhujam haret, take up to the devotional service to the Lord. Then bhajan apakwa atapade tadoyati. The bhajan is apakwa, immature, and you fall down. Then yatrakubaddham abodamishikim kovarta apato abhajadam swadharmata. Abhajata, somebody who's not doing abhajan, not doing bhajan, but he's doing swadharma. What is the use for him? So understand a little bit, understand the meaning. Keep hearing, keep chanting, and at least once daily Brahma Muhurta, try to read the verse once or twice. Then it will really help you. Don't keep sloka memorization towards the end and you rush up. Initially itself, you should start reading. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have a small question. So
yes,
basically, my friend attends Bhagavatam class from one of the local ISKCON temples here. So there was a discussion that in all the Shastras, it's only a son, stories are given, like Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Everywhere it's just a son saying, okay, if son becomes a devotee, parents are automatically liberated. Like Dhruva could liberate his mother and Prahlad Maharaj could liberate father and all. So they have a question or a confusion. What about daughters? If parents have just single daughters, if they become devotees, will their parents, get an opportunity to become devotees again in their next life?
Yeah. See, it is, this is just a boat. It is said the human form is like a boat. Whichever boat you get, it might be a female boat or a male boat, it doesn't matter. Prabhupada says, if you think you're a female, you can't advance. So it doesn't matter, Mataji, we are in which body, it really doesn't matter. Devotional service is transcendental to any material conception. So you're a male or a female, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We have stories of Draupadi. We have great personalities. No, even if you see Prabhupada's disciples, Prabhupada's daughters, were all empowered. So it doesn't matter you are a female or a male. It doesn't really matter. The devotional service is transcendental to everything. So yes, just in Bhagavatam, all such stories are mentioned. But great devotees like Kunti Maharani and Draupadi and Uttara and great personalities are also there.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said that. Somebody wrote to Prabhupada also. Prabhupada, I cannot advance like the Prabhus. So does that mean I can't go back to Krishna with this female body? So Prabhupada's like, if you think you're a female, you cannot advance. And your spirit soul, you're not this material body. Don't think like that. This is a boat. You have your captain as spiritual master, your Srila Prabhupada, his disciples. Just you have favorable winds, the Vedas and scriptures. In fact, Matajis are more empowered. The Janma Devi Dasi, who was Nityananda Prabhu's wife, was so empowered. And Guru Maharaj was so happy to hear that Matajis are preaching and doing all kind of devotional services. There might be some restrictions because of this female body. You can't be a brahmachari, you can't take sanya, so many things. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Whichever ashram we are, whichever we are, there are devotees, great devotees like Shabari and so many devotees who have won Krishna's heart. So it doesn't matter which body you are in. Okay. Yeah,
Thank
actually,
you,
as
Mataji.
Giridhar Prabhu said, when the Matajis become devotees in the family, the whole liberation process is easy because they are cooking. Their consciousness comes to the food. So it's always faster transformation happens if the female in the family becomes devotee first than a male becoming devotee. Because the whole family can be controlled and ruled by that female. So she can change her children's consciousness, husband's consciousness slowly. She can chant for them. So definitely uh, that is Krishna's plan, and uh, that helps actually the whole family. But definitely, Mataji, whoever it is, sincerely, if they do devotional service, the whole family gets the benefit. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, anything to add?
Yes,
Wait.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. And when it is said that if a girl, the daughter becomes a devotee, she liberates both on her mother's side, and when she get married, she
Ah,
liberates on his
very nice.
sasura side. Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice point. Like, yeah, she can liberate her parents or her family for the husband's family. So that's very nice. Yes. And what about she giving birth to the children? Like, if she's a devotee, definitely she'll be hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and then doing devotional service when she's pregnant. So that child or in the womb, definitely the consciousness will be greater. So she get a chance or an opportunity to give birth to a devotee, in the sense give chance to another soul to complete Krishna consciousness. Isn't that so great that only a female can do, a male cannot do that? So in that way, yes, and there was a gynecologist who actually after delivery, she takes the baby once the nurses do all the primary things, and then before handing over to the parents, she actually chant Hare Krishna to that child. So hundreds of children heard Hare Krishna Mahamantra from her, and irrespective of their religion or whatever it is, and she gives so much of rare experiences that the child's opening the eyes when hearing the Hare Krishna Mantra, pulling her kanti mala, and then smiling when they hear the Harinam. So many things. So a female can do wonderful things by preaching and being a part of being a devotee in the society. So which a male cannot do. So it doesn't matter whichever boat we are in. Why we got a female body? We discussed now.
Yes,
Why?
because last birth we were male body.
Last birth
We were in a male body.
yeah, and
We were thinking
And
about a female, so that's why we got a female
we were
body.
attached to a male. And those who are male here, they were attached to a male in the sense they were in the field. That's what Bhagavatam says, that they were, it can be the other way also, but still it is said like that. But because the females, whoever got the female body, got attached to a female. It can be your mother, it can be your wife, it can be your daughter, whatever it is, some kind of attachment to that particular body. So you get that body next. So that's what it is said. But it doesn't stop you from devotional service. Devotional service is transcendent. Anybody can do anytime. Sometimes my friends were thinking, oh, we didn't have become a male. We could have become brahmacharis and joined temple full time. Now we have responsibilities, family, that this. But it doesn't matter. In fact, it gives you more opportunity to preach and more service taking care of. One Mataji have 3 kids, and 3 of them are homeschooled. Okay, homeschooled, not gone to school. But 3 of them know all the slokas of Bhagavad Gita, amazing Bhagavatam stories. They say they're great devotees. And I was like, Mataji, one, I'm struggling with 3. How do you manage? So Mataji is like, just think your consciousness should be that I am serving Prabhupada's future soldiers. I am serving Prabhupada's army soldiers or somebody like that. The Vaishnavas, this is Vaishnav Seva. I am serving the children of Vaishnavas who are going to preach Krishna consciousness or who are going to preach Prabhupada's mission. So take it in that way. That is a bliss taking care of the children. And I was like amazed how Mataji's consciousness was. And that only a Mataji can do, a female can do, right? Hare Krishna. Mataji is very glorious. She's my mentor. She is a pediatrician. At the same time, a very great devotee of Srila Prabhupada, in the sense, very dedicated soul. Only she can do that, raising 3 kids in Krishna consciousness in absolutely nice way. It's a very a role model to many. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining. Vanchakalpadara Krishna Kripa Sindhu Patitana Bhakti Vaishnava. Anukodi Vaishnava ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.